Well, this week, markets, especially bond markets, are keenly awaiting the Reserve Bank's dividend. As per the budget estimates, it should be around 2.5 trillion rupees. In fact, a little less, versus 2.1 trillion that the RBI declared last year. However, there is a widespread feeling in the market it will be more than 2.5 trillion. So we did a poll, and a poll of economists, which indicated that the dividend may be 3 trillion rupees. Here's why the market is expecting a bigger dividend. The Reserve Bank of India data shows that RBI has sold a whopping $415 billion in FY25, that is from April 2024 to March 2025. This compares with sales of only $153 billion in FY24. Now, you know, every time the Reserve Bank sells a dollar, it will be at the current price, at right now 84 or 85 rupees, but its purchase price is calculated as the average of all the reserves that it has accumulated. Right now it works to around 78 rupees, according to experts. So the Reserve Bank had made about 6.5 rupees profit every time it sold dollars in FY25. That means the Reserve Bank made 6.5 rupees multiplied by 415 billion, that is 2.7 trillion rupees. In FY24, if you saw the math, the Reserve Bank sold only $153 billion and therefore it made only 1.2 trillion rupees. So only on this count, on dollar sales, the surplus of the Reserve Bank in FY25 would have been 1.5 trillion rupees more than in FY24. Last year's dividend was 2.1 trillion, so this year's can be 3.6 trillion rupees, according to this math. However, there are two other important components of the RBI's income, and they are interest income on foreign securities that they hold and Government of India bonds that they hold. Now, RBI's foreign securities holding as of March 31 was a whopping 48.6 trillion, but that's only marginally higher than what it was last year as of March 31, 24. It was about 48 trillion. While Reserve Bank of India's India securities, Government of India securities, was 15.6 trillion in FY25 end, slightly higher than 13.6 trillion last year, that is FY24. But because of rate cuts in the year gone by, total interest income from Government of India bonds this in FY25 would have been slightly lower than last year's. In short, RBI's income is expected to be 1.5 trillion more than last year, largely because of profit on dollar sales. Now let's come to expenditure. As for RBI's expenditure, the big change, a changing element, if you can call it, is how much Reserve Bank transfers to the contingency reserve fund. You know, salary and all that remain the same. Now, the Jalan panel requires that RBI has to keep 5.5 to 6.5% of its balance sheet as reserves. In FY25, an RBI panel reviewed the rule, but we don't know if they changed this 5.5 to 6.5 requirement. As of March 2024, Reserve Bank's reserves were at 6.5% of the balance sheet. Now, RBI may exercise its option and bring down the reserves to 5.5%. That is still within Jalan Committee rules, given that there are higher defense expenses for the government this year. Also, there is no fear that higher money printing will increase inflation because this year, CPI inflation is expected to remain below 4% for the entire year. Hence, the expectation that the Reserve Bank may declare a 3.5 trillion rupee dividend this year.
Make informed decisions with comprehensive analysis on the go.
Strengthen your portfolio with real-time market updates on the go. Create effective strategies with insightful expert opinions on the go.
Grow on the go with CNBC-TV18, now streaming live 24/7 on YouTube.
Thank you for watching us on CNBC TV18. For all news and updates, subscribe to our YouTube channel and watch us on all social media platforms.